Okay, at the end of the last video we had our Ajax call working, and our page just shows an arbitrarily chosen country. Now we're going to go back into the JSON and fix some stuff up. Okay, this is the ready function, and this is the Ajax call. Before the Ajax call, I'm going to add a place to put stuff. So I'm going to have a div created and inserted into the document, and I'm going to give it an ID because that's where I'm going to put the quiz question. So it's got ID is question. Okay, and when I get the data back, I'm going to put in a button as well. So when the Ajax call completes, I'm going to add a button to the form. And this button is going to show a random question. So the text is going to be next question, and the click event is going to be the function that creates and displays a question. And this button is only going to appear on the JSON when the Ajax call completes, and I'm going to add that button to the body, not to the question itself. So I'm going to append that to the body of the page, and I don't need this anymore. Okay, so that button should add up. That button should appear when the Ajax call completes. So this is the Ajax call completing. This is the button appearing. What happens is that the get JSON call will happen just once, and we will always have access to this list of 190 odd countries. That's always going to be available, and I won't make a new call every time someone clicks on this button. So what happens when someone clicks on the button? What I want to do is I want to pick a random country. Okay, so to get a random number, I want a random number between 0 and 194 or 195, I think. So I can say var random index equals math.floor. It's got to be an integer, and I'm going to do 194 times by math.random. So what this phrase is doing, random is a number between 0 and 1 multiplied up by 194 will give me, it'll still be a fractional number, and when I take floor, that'll turn it into an integer. So that should be a random index. Of course, there's nothing special about 194. I happen to know that's how big my list is, but the list could be any length. D.length will tell me what length the list is. So that's pick the country at random. Having picked that country at random, I am going to display details of that country. So hash question dot text is, okay, so D is a list of countries indexed by the random integer, and let's look at the name. So that should pick a different country every time I click that button. Let's reload. Okay, no button appearing. I was expecting the button to appear on JSON, on the JSON completing. Reload. Nope, nothing happening. So the JSON loaded. Can't see anything wrong. Let's look at let's line step it to see what I did wrong. So JSON call completes here. I can see it, just looking at the code I can see it. That was append, it should be append to. Got it the wrong way around, so the thing I created gets appended to the body. That's better. Reload. No, still not working. Dot append to, spell that wrong. And reload. At last, okay, I click on next question, and that was supposed to give me the name of a country, and it didn't. Let's just try it again. What else can you do but click? Okay, why didn't that work? So, get JSON. Let's line step here. This is inside the click function of the next question button. Reload and click on that. Okay, it picked me an integer. Did it? RI is 2, so that'll be Albania, I'm guessing. D.ri.name. Let's have a look at D2. Yep, D2.name. I can see no reason why that shouldn't have worked. Hash question. Okay, the only thing I can think of is that hash question doesn't exist. Okay, there's no such thing as hash question. That's peculiar because I created it here. Yeah, I did create it, but I didn't put it into the body. Silly me. So that's a question created, and let's put it in the body. Dot append to body. Okay, these are rookie mistakes. Let's reload, and this has got to work. Didn't work again. Reload. Okay, let's see my commands. Question exists. Name's Algeria. Go. Oh, that was weird. Okay, I want the checkpoint there, that's why. Run it. And let's click on next question. Oh, it is. Wow, why did I think it wasn't working? Okay, it's working fine. Every time I click on that, it gives me a random country. That's terrific. Okay, so we've got a random question. We want the text to be a little bit more than that. Let's ask, what is the capital of? And let's put a question mark. I'm not sure if this question mark is good or not, actually. It looks a bit weird. Reload. What's the capital of Cyprus? Nicosia. What's the capital of Tanzania? Yes, that's working nicely. Okay, now what I want to do is to find 4 random countries and put them in. Okay, so 4 random countries for var I equals 0, I is less than 4, I plus plus. Okay. Alright, so I want to find a random country, and I want to use the same phrase roughly. So this is a distractor, random distractor. And we're not going to make up a, now we're going to make, we're going to add 2 questions, so dollar hash question. What I want to do is append a button. So I'll make up a button. And the text of that button is going to be the capital of the random country I just came up with. So D, the random country, is RD for random distractor, and it is capital that I want to show up. Okay, reload. Next question. Okay, that's been good. We're seeing a couple of Ethiopia, but these are random capitals, not necessarily including the capital of Ethiopia or Azerbaijan or India. So capital of India, it's not there. None of those is the capital of India. So I have to make sure that this list includes the capital that I'm talking about. How can I do that? Well, supposing I only made up 3 random ones, and then after putting those 3 in, I add another one. But this is not a random one. This is the one corresponding to the country that I picked, this RI country. So now I'm bound to get the right answer, is bound to be there. Let's reload. Okay, Togo, that's the capital. Macedonia, wow, okay. Jamaica, ooh, Kingston, that's worrying. That implies that I've got a country somewhere with no capital. I'll search for that later, I think, but I've got to be aware that my data includes a country with presumably a blank capital. Maybe I have a quick search for that right now. Let's have a look. Data that I'm getting is http://prog.zoo.net/worldl.json, and I know there's something wrong with that. vi worldl, and there's somewhere here is a capital that is blank. And it looks like Vatican City hasn't got a capital. It kind of makes sense. Vatican City is a city. So that's one. Is there another one? No. That's Vatican City. So it looks like Vatican City is the only one. Vatican City hasn't got a capital. I'm going to log in and fix it. Okay, I'll pause the data where I went in and fixed that. You didn't need to see that. So now, okay, so what's going on is that I've got my 4 buttons, and I quite like having the right answer at the end. That won't do long term, but for the moment it's actually quite handy, because the next thing to do is to make these buttons work so that they can tell if we got the answer right or not. And having the right answer as the last one is quite handy. Let's go into here. So there's the button. These are the distractors. Actually, no, I'm not liking it. Because I've copied this phrase, my next thing is to attach an action to all of those buttons that I've added. There's a couple of things I can do. What I want to do is to check to see if the user got the answer right. So what I'm tempted to do is that if I give all of these a class, all these buttons a class, then what I can do is assign the click event for all of the buttons, the wrong answers and the right answers, hash. So I'm going to call it, so they're all buttons, and I'm going to give them the class dist for distractor. So these are all distractors, and the click event is a function, and what that function does for the moment at least is check to see if you got it right. So if something, let's alert well done. Okay, and then I'll figure out what the something is. So how do I tell if the user got it right? Well, one thing I can do is find the text of the button that just got clicked. So the button that got clicked is $this, and I can get to the text of that using text, and I can compare that with the correct answer. So I knew the correct answer up here. RI was my random variable. There is only one RI, so I can actually use that index. I can say if d RI dot capital, yep, equals the text. That'll say well done. Okay, I'm liking that. Now I just have to put the class dist onto all of the distractors. So that's that. I can say class is quote dist. Now here's the thing. Generally speaking, when I've got these structures, these have got key value pairs in them. So I've got text and then a value, and I've got class and I've got a value. As long as this is a plain string, you don't have to quote it. If it's got a minus in it or something like that, then you do have to quote it. The exception to that rule is the word class. So class is a reserved word in JavaScript, and you'll find that if you don't quote the word class, then it works fine in Chrome and Firefox, but on Internet Explorer, it won't work. It'll give you an error. And that's one of the cases where Internet Explorer is actually doing the right thing and Chrome and Firefox are doing the wrong thing. So if you click on the right answer, so this is the click function. We'll check to see if you've got it right, and if you did, we'll congratulate you. Next question. Okay, capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. Easy one, it says well done. Let's click Bern and Oslo. Nope, they're all wrong. Egypt, no, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Yes, it's Cairo. Okay, it's looking good, but the quiz is a bit easy. The user's going to spot that the answer is always the last one. Nevertheless, we've made progress. I'm going to celebrate with a commit and a push. So let's say git commit -a -m. Okay, buttons appear in wrong order. Okay, that looked okay. And what was it? Git push. Okay, I'm making heavy weather on that. Okay, that's done. Okay, so that's the second commit. Next task will be to try and put these buttons in a sensible order. Maybe do a bit of styling.